Hello everyone, and welcome to today's tutorial on cute looks. We're going to be taking measurements today on how to take your measurement for your jumpsuit and that of your play suit. I used to find it difficult to take your measurements. I used to have an issue with your flap, how to make your seat relax, whereby the bottom side will not be looking very funny. Your flap will not be vomiting like some people call it, or will be bulging, which is the right word to use. In this video I'm going to be taking measurements on how you get that accurately without having all those faults. So sit tight and watch this video, and while you watch it, like the video, turn on your notification bell, and then subscribe, and then I'll also be waiting for you at the comment section. Okay guys, straight to the madam in front of me here. I'm going to be starting with the measurements depending on the type of jumpsuits you are making. So I'm going to start from the neck point. I'm going to be taking her length all the way from up there, from the shoulder point down to the ankle. Then if the measurement is meant to be longer, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom side of her leg, and then that's it for the length. Then to be able to achieve the hip area of your jumpsuit, I'm going to be taking a hip length, which I have from here to the shooting side of our buttocks. I'll go under a bit. This is where we have our hip length. I'm going to be taking these measurements here, and then at that point is where I'm going to be able to achieve my hip measurement. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurements like this. I'll take my shoulder measurement. If I'm making an armless jumpsuit, I'm going to be making my shoulder measurement a bit inside so it looks smart and still corresponds with my armhole. But if I'm making a sleeve with it, I'm going to be adding extra to that measurement, which is my direct shoulder measurement. It says 16, and then I am good to go with my shoulder. So after that, except I'm having a dart that is connecting with the bust area like the princess dart, or I'm making a cup structure around the jumpsuit, that's where I'm going to be making this area too fitted. But since I'm making this area just a bit free, like we have our English wear, I'm just going to take her direct bust measurements. You can see it has a bit ease around this area, and then I'm going to be taking my half length measurements so that I'll be able to know where to take my waist measurement. You see this area on your jumpsuit, when people take their measurements on jumpsuits and then come to this direct point to take their half length, no, sometimes when you finish taking this measurement, you find that your flap is too long. You're meant to bring down the waist measurement of your jumpsuit down to this area of your abdomen. This is where it's supposed to be, directly your abdomen. If you find out those who makes their jumpsuit measurements directly their abdomen, you find out the jumpsuit is not having a very long flap and is looking very relaxed. So when you take it direct to your abdomen here, it's easy for you to connect. If it's okay, you can also take the person's flap measurement all the way from there. It helps you to relax that corner. So when you're done with that, you take your round crotch measurement, because if you're able to achieve the length of your flap, that is from the point where you can achieve your round crotch measurement. After taking your round crotch measurement, you take your round thigh as well, and then take your knee measurement all the way from the shoulder point to your knee measurement. Take your round knee measurement, and then take the bottom side of your jumpsuit. Then you're good to go. Then the sleeve is up to you, the type of sleeve you want to use on your jumpsuit measurements. We have different types of sleeve. If we start taking the measurements, we're not going to be through with this class. So for the necessary measurements you need on your jumpsuit, the measurements I just took, the same thing you will apply on your play suit. But for the jumpsuit, let me take you back a bit. For the jumpsuit, it depends on the type of jumpsuit you're making. If you're making a palazzo jumpsuit, from the point of your crotch, you're going to make it big all the way down. The measurement you have around the crotch, you're going to take it all the way down, depending on how wide you want the crotch measurement to be. You take it all the way down. If you're making a bell bottom jumpsuit, your measurements will be the same thing from the waist, hip, the crotch, the tie, and then when it gets to the knee area, it will be a bit fitted, and then out with the belt, just like we have our 6x6 cutting. You have it cut out. That is it for the bell bottom. And if you're making a boot cut jumpsuit, all you have to do is achieve your waist, your measurement all the way from the shoulder, the bust, the waist, the hip area, the crotch, and the tie. When it gets to this area, then you blow it out to be a boot cut. Then you are good to go with your jumpsuit measurement. So for the play suit, the only difference is just the length. It's the same thing. The length is up to you. If you want it at the knee direct, if you want it above the knee, and you want it very short, that's where you have it being a play suit and no longer a jumpsuit. Even if you're making a dangling, the one we call that comes with a suspender, the bottom side looks like a jumpsuit. It's more like the same measurement. The difference of this area being open and this side is being closed. Same thing with the back. Or you want to make the back open, it's up to you, but they are more like the same measurement. So guys, there's nothing much on taking a measurement on your play suit. All you have to do is concentrate on this video and know the right measurement to take. You find out that you won't be having excess around there. Then the hip helps us with the seat measurements of our play suit, whereby if we finish making it, we'll be having enough allowance behind. The seat is where we have the flap behind, is called the seat area on our trouser or our play suit or the jumpsuit. So all you have to do is to add extra to the seat area of our jumpsuit, so you can have comfortability when you sit down, and then you are good to go. So there's nothing else to take away from the measurements I just explained to you. If you can follow this idea, this logic, and then you're good to go with your jumpsuit and your play suit measurement. So thank you for joining me in today's tutorial. Like I said, like this video, turn on the notification, and also subscribe if you're joining us for the first time. Thank you very much. So guys, I'll be seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to comment. I'll be waiting for you at that part. And then also follow us on Cute Look Stitches on our Facebook channel. All right guys, bye bye.